Welcome back. Today I want to tell you a story that doesn't begin with privilege, connections, or luck. It begins with emptiness, with silence, with a life where almost everything was missing, except one quiet, stubborn belief that refused to die. This is the story of a woman who had nothing, absolutely nothing, yet somehow built everything. She grew up in a place most people never notice. Not on postcards, not in movies, not in success stories. A small, forgotten neighborhood where dreams were considered a luxury and survival was the only real goal. Her home was fragile, not just in walls but in spirit. Money was always short. Some days food was uncertain. Some nights were colder than they should have been. While other children talked about what they wanted to become, she learned early how to stay quiet, how to endure, how to make herself small so problems wouldn't notice her. From a young age, she understood what it meant to go without. Without new clothes. Without proper school supplies. Without encouragement. She watched others move forward while she stayed behind, not because she wasn't capable, but because life demanded she carry burdens that didn't belong on such young shoulders. Still, even then, there was something inside her. A small voice that whispered, "This cannot be all there is." School was not easy. She was smart, but exhaustion followed her everywhere. She studied under dim lights, sometimes with an empty stomach, sometimes with fear pressing heavy on her chest. Teachers didn't expect much from her. Society didn't either. She was invisible, and invisibility can crush a person or shape them. For her, it slowly became fuel. There were moments when she almost gave up. Moments when reality screamed louder than hope. She watched her family struggle, watched doors close again and again, watched opportunities slip away before she could even reach for them. At times, she blamed herself. Other times, she blamed the world. But deep down, she made a silent promise: no matter how long it takes, I will not end here. When she was old enough to work, she didn't wait for the perfect job. She took whatever came her way. Long hours, low pay, no recognition. She worked while others slept, learned while others rested. Every coin she earned mattered. Not because it made her rich, but because it made her independent. Each small paycheck felt like proof that she could stand on her own feet, even if they were shaking. There were failures. Many of them. Plans that collapsed. Ideas that didn't work. Trust placed in the wrong people. She lost time, money, and sometimes hope. But what she never lost was the ability to get back up. Every failure taught her something. Every mistake hardened her resolve. She began to understand that success isn't built on confidence alone, but on resilience. People around her doubted her constantly. Some said she was dreaming too big. Others said she should be grateful for whatever little she had and stop reaching for more. But she had already tasted what settling felt like, and she knew she could not live like that forever. So she kept going, quietly, stubbornly, step by step. She started educating herself because no one else was going to do it for her. Books became her mentors. Late nights became her classrooms. She learned skills that no one had taught her, asked questions no one had answered, and built knowledge brick by brick. While others waited for permission, she gave it to herself. There were days she cried alone, questioning if the struggle was worth it. Nights when fear told her she was wasting her time. But every morning, she woke up and tried again. Not because she was fearless, but because staying the same scared her more than failing. Slowly, things began to change. Not dramatically. Not overnight. Just small shifts. A better opportunity. A door opening where one had always been closed. A moment when someone finally said yes instead of no. She didn't celebrate loudly. She had learned that progress is fragile, and it must be protected. As time passed, she built more than just financial stability. She built confidence. She built discipline. She built a mindset that refused to return to scarcity, even when circumstances tried to drag her back. She began to see herself differently. Not as someone who came from nothing, but as someone capable of creating something. One of the most powerful changes was internal. She stopped waiting for validation. She stopped explaining her dreams to people who couldn't see them. She learned that not everyone needs to understand your journey, they just need to stay out of your way. This realization freed her in ways she never expected. When success finally started to show, people noticed. Some were inspired. Some were jealous. Some pretended they had believed in her all along. But she remembered every night she had stood alone, every tear she had wiped in silence, every moment she had almost quit. And she carried those memories not with bitterness, but with pride. She used what she built not just for herself, but to lift others. Because she knew what it felt like to be overlooked. She offered guidance where she once needed it. support where she once lacked it. She didn't forget where she came from, and that made her success even stronger. What makes her story extraordinary isn't just that she became successful, it's that she became unbreakable. She learned that having nothing can either destroy you or teach you how to build everything from scratch. She chose the second path, even when it was painful, lonely, and uncertain. Her life is proof that beginnings do not define endings. That poverty is not a permanent identity. That strength is often born in silence. She didn't inherit opportunities, she created them. She didn't wait for rescue, she rescued herself. Today, when she looks back, she doesn't see a girl who lacked everything. She sees a foundation. Because the struggle taught her patience. The hunger taught her discipline. The rejection taught her self-belief. And the loneliness taught her independence. If you are listening to this and feel like you have nothing, remember this story. Remember that nothing is not the end. Nothing can be the beginning of everything, if you are willing to endure, to learn, and to keep moving forward when no one is watching. She had nothing. No shortcuts. No safety net. No guarantees. Yet she built everything, piece by piece, with her own hands, her own courage, and her own unbreakable will. And if she could do it, starting from nothing, then maybe, just maybe, so can you.